The year 2007, the currency is very strong, wages are very high. It's just looking so good, and maybe it was too good to be true.
I arrived in Iceland in 2007. The first thing I noticed when I got here was thinking, wow, there's a lot of money around here.
2007 is usually a phrase in Icelandic. It's usually referred to as the best year we ever had.
People, vested interests, both private and state, were looking to market Iceland as a place to visit.
Tourism is some 21st century thing. It's just trendy to go elsewhere than not be home. Things start to change, look very dramatic in 2009, 10. But then there is this tourism always increasing those years, slowly. Big landmark when we had the volcanic eruption in 2010.
Before the eruption, tourism was more seen as a hobby, more than a real industry to work in.
We'll start to see opportunities, not only investment of time, just pure money when it comes to construction of hotels especially.
You know, is the industry that actually helped us a lot after the crisis and is the fastest growing industry in Iceland.
It makes us Icelanders meet a lot more people from everywhere in the world.
I think that is always the positive side of the tourism, is that you will have locals that actually are proud of their heritage and proud of their culture. Of course, the challenge is because you're selling a product that is not tangible, ahead of time. So you're basically selling expectations. One of the biggest challenges of tourism companies overall is how to manage expectations.
The most negative effect that it has had is on our nature, and that is what so many of our guests are looking to see, is the nature.
Iceland obviously is fascinating because it's such a natural spot and is still a fairly untouched spot, and that's how I think we would like to keep it. Now, obviously, the next steps are to decide, how do we do that? How do we keep, natural places natural?
Now we're at this situation where 1.3 million tourists, roughly, came last year, and that's not been planned for.
The infrastructure just wasn't quite ready to welcome all these people.
You look around, there are cranes everywhere, and that's a good indication that they're trying to increase and better their infrastructure to accommodate the tourists that are already here.
Iceland, in terms of its institutions, we don't plan very well for anything. There's just been a very mad gold rush attitude that here is something we can exploit as a resource.
I know that there is a will within the government to react to this and try to make the infrastructure better, but they haven't been moving fast enough.
I think it's our biggest challenge now in the next months to come and years, is to find this balance between how many people can we actually accommodate here without destroying the nature, for example.
Where Iceland really came to my mind is actually through the volcanic ash. My sister was visiting, and then all of a sudden she couldn't fly back.
It's somewhere completely different. The weather's different, the culture's different.
I just think there's been increasing advertising. I see it all the time. I see advertisements for Iceland Air. I see advertisements in magazines.
We feel really comfortable here. It definitely won't be the last time we visit.
Many people, they're now starting to see tourism in a negative way, and it's understandable. Like the street art that you see behind me, that's basically mediated by corporate interests. There's not enough residents there because they're all being priced out the market or forcibly moved out. It makes the city nicer, for tourists?
Reykjavik, even is a small city if you compare to other cities. It's a fairly cosmopolitan city, if you may say, because we kind of need to have everything that a big city does have. So you'll see here a lot of culture, a lot of music.
Reykjavik wants to see itself as a world-class city. And it is a wonderful city, but it's not Rome, it's not New York, it's not Berlin. Iceland's 330,000 people. You get over 1 million tourists, nearly all of them coming through Reykjavik. It causes a major impact.
There is a lot more of restaurants and bars and cafes, but there are fewer and fewer people who actually live downtown.
A lot of the people who own the properties outside the main downtown roads are basically turned them into guest houses or Airbnbs.
For myself, living in downtown, I don't feel like I have as many neighbors.
The property market, especially in downtown in the west of Reykjavik, is in absolute freefall at the moment.
What I hope will happen is that when the renovations and all the new buildings will be there, we will have a more beautiful city.
We have so many resources here, and it's just a matter of how we use them wisely.
I think tourism is here to be. I think there will always be a competitive flight option to come here.
The most important thing that we do, I think, is that the tourism becomes sustainable. That's better for everyone, you know, and for our future generations as well.
What's really scary is, what you're seeing here, this isn't just the end. This is only the beginning.